viral video over the last couple days. We covered it extensively yesterday of the drag show for kids in Dallas, Texas. There was one man who actually went to or tried to go to intervene and be an adult and do what was actually necessary. That's Alex Stein, number 99. I think I got that right. He's hilarious. Alex, welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show.
Charlie, you're a legend. Oh my gosh, you're calling me 99. I feel like I made it. You know, the man, the myth, the legend, Charlie. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Your reputation precedes you. The thing when you went to the school board meeting in Dallas, it's one of the funniest things I've seen in a very long time. And so you went to this drag show. They didn't let you in, so they're obviously, I don't know, homophobic or something? Like, walk us through this.
Well, listen, this is the thing about this drag show. And, you know, in our culture right now, they're doing the drag queen story time at the public library. Now, that's disgusting. That's terrible, Charlie. But at least... My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself, why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. I'm not trying to act like a mess. I'm just emotionally really upset right now, obviously, because of what happened. And I just feel so bad for Charlie and his family. I never felt so much pain for another person other than like a family member, and I just feel so bad right now. And I'm not gonna just sit here and cry. I gotta compose myself. But just watching that, and people don't understand that Charlie Kirk could have canceled me a million times. A million times. I did some very boneheaded things, and he always stuck with me. Even when I was not representing Turning Point in the best light. And I know everybody's going through it right now. Everybody's very in a lot of pain, especially seeing something as graphic and as horrible as what we all witnessed. But I am having trouble right now finding anything positive about this situation, because I know there's people out there, and it's very true that Charlie's legacy will live on forever, but the world is significantly worse today without Charlie Kirk than it was yesterday. And Charlie had my back so much, and he didn't have any motivation other than he actually believed in the First Amendment. He believed in the Second Amendment. He believed in the whole entire Constitution. And the problem with society and the world that we live in is that we live in such a sick, disgusting world that a person that is truly good, like Charlie Kirk, gets taken out. Because everybody that I meet in politics has some sort of skeleton in their closet, is, you know, whatever. Nobody's perfect. But the closest thing to perfection when it comes to a human being and following God's commandments and defending the Constitution, there's no better example in the entire universe than Charlie Kirk. And when you are perfect like that, and when you don't have skeletons in your closet, and you cannot be blackmailed, they will publicly execute you in front of thousands of people, and they will make you scared on purpose. And obviously, I'm not going to get into any of the conspiracy surrounding what's going on with Charlie's horrible, horrific murder. But there's a lot of questions that have not been answered that we're all struggling with. And I'm so frustrated with just this entire situation, because I, once again, like I was saying earlier, cannot find a silver lining whatsoever. When you're a 31-year-old man, father, that has accomplished more than 99.9% of the population, and you're brutally murdered in front of your wife and 2 kids, that is a sick world that not even the most sinister Hollywood scriptwriter would write and produce. And that's the current reality in which we live in, and nothing feels real. Me sitting here and saying Charlie Kirk is dead does not feel real. Doesn't feel real at all. And everything with Turning Point is, obviously on hiatus, and that's really bad for society. And that's the problem, that all the ignorant people on the internet that are celebrating this, they're ignorant idiots, and their opinion does not matter. But they don't understand the ripple effect that this is going to have on society. Charlie Kirk would have been president of the United States of America. No doubt in my mind. No doubt. And he was brutally murdered in front of the whole entire world. And we don't have any answers. And the biggest conservative organization in the world has taken an incredible hit. And America has taken an incredible hit. And I have zero faith in the federal government or any of our agencies and even getting justice for this, because it's unjustified. You can't justify this. There's no corporal punishment. None of that matters. We literally lost the most influential non-politician in the world. And you see the outpouring support for Charlie. Not one person has anything negative to say. Because like me, anytime they had a business dealing, personal dealing, fan encounter with Charlie, he was incredibly respectful. And that's why I'm a little sad, because not trying to make it about me, but I go and I do put myself in situations where if somebody heard, Alex Stein got shot at a college event, people would be upset, but they'd be like, well, maybe he had it coming to him. Charlie Kirk had nothing coming to him. He only debated with respect in class. And that is another reason why he's no longer here. Because most human beings don't have the self-control and the orator skills that Charlie has. And he was a threat. And who he was a threat to, I don't know. But Charlie never did anything wrong to anybody. So whoever took him out because they disagreed with his message. And nobody should die for having a disagreement on a particular political viewpoint. And a lot of what happened in the response to this is meant to upset us. And so it's okay to feel like this. It's okay to be upset. That's normal. But that was the whole plan, was to demoralize us and make us fight one another. And there's something going on that is not good in the world. And we live in a dark, evil world where being truly good like Charlie makes you a target for the most evil things. Literally, I'm not even being facetious. Like, this was satanic and demonic to have this happen in front of the world, in front of his family. I just can't even comprehend that this is real. And, thinking of Charlie, like, I want to play a video of some of our funny encounters, but I just don't even know if it particularly feels right, because, I emulate Charlie. I'm older than Charlie. He's younger than me, but I look up to Charlie. And he's, once again, a lot of people, when you're going around college campuses calling yourself Charlie Kirk and acting like, an idiot, a lot of people get mad about that. Charlie had a sense of humor. Charlie was actually cool and funny. He was authentic when nobody else is. And he gave me so many chances for no reason. And I know I keep repeating that. I don't even know why. I don't even know why Charlie even gave me chances. But I do know why, because Charlie's a good person, because he's a good human being. That's why, because he actually defends the Constitution. I do know, but he didn't have to do it. Like, he just didn't have to do it. But he actually wanted me to grow and become more well-known. And a lot of people don't even realize it was actually Charlie Kirk. that kind of motivated me to do what I do today, because I mean, it makes me so sad to think about. So, you know, I was going through like a really bad time, obviously, after my mom passed away. And I was going to city council meetings, and I was just like, I mean, some of them were getting some views and stuff, not that many views, maybe 10, 20,000 views, which is good for me. I was pumped at the time. But I went and I did this heartbeat bill speech where I said, you know, I'm so mad that you guys are, you know, outlawing abortion, basically, because it's, you know, only it's the most foolproof form of contraception, and, you know, I don't want a bunch of baby mamas. And I was like, just saying all these repugnant things that a pro-choicer says, you know, clump of cells, like all of the keywords. And it got shared. The first person that made it go viral was Charlie. Charlie shared it on one of his, I think it was like Rumble at first, or maybe it was YouTube, I forget, but I remember that popped off. And I was like, what the hell? This on Charlie Kirk's account got 1 million views. I was like, what? And that's what set off the light bulb in my head. I'm like, man, I need to kind of do this like kind of culture jam, kind of like pretend that I'm the crazy person that I'm trying to make fun of. And so if it wasn't for Charlie, even him not even realizing just the effect that he had by sharing my content and letting his audience see who I was before he even knew who I was instrumental in the little bit of success that I've had. And Charlie probably doesn't even know that. And then, you know, he decides to say, hey, Alex, I'm going to let you be a, you know, Turning Point influencer. I forget what it was called. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I was so excited to be a part of Turning Point. And I had some controversial people on my podcast, and very easily he could have canceled me for that. And I told him I didn't know about the previous heat, and Charlie believed me, and he gave me a second chance when he did not have to. And for that, I was so thankful. And then, you know, fast forward 2-3 years later, I'm, you know, planning on going on my second college tour for Turning Point this semester, which is obviously not going to happen, but I will go speak at a college again. I don't know when that will be, but I'm not going to let this stop me, because I know that if Charlie would have lived, which we all were praying for him to live, Charlie would go back to a college campus, because Charlie was fearless. He was bold, and I want to emulate that boldness. So I'm not going to be in fear, and I'm not going to be scared to go to a college campus. But that's obviously, you know, down the road. That's not right now. And yeah, I'm just like filled with so many emotions. Just like 1 second it's frustration because of the situation. The second, I'm like just hurt for everybody that's going through this very traumatic event that happened on the day before September 11th, which is just insane. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But none of this makes a lot of sense, because when you're Charlie Kirk and you're actually respectful, why would somebody want to hurt you when Charlie's literally never hurt anybody and never would? And like, I don't understand how the world works sometimes, and why the good ones get taken out. Like, I don't know how that is God's plan. I do think it is God's plan, but I just don't know why. I can't comprehend a guy that gives his life for the Lord, and something so terrible happens. I can't wrap my head around it. I really can't. And I don't know if we'll ever get any closure. I know that I will never get any closure, because Charlie helped me out, but in person, I think we only had probably about 5 conversations. But we, had some text messages, and we talked through intermediaries a lot, actually, through Turning Point. But I just can't believe that I'm never going to get to talk to that guy again, and I owe him so much. I just can't believe it. It just doesn't feel real. So yeah, I mean, that's what's going on. I know you guys are obviously feeling, horrible I will say this, though. I think there's like a level of, yeah, we should go after the people that have, tarnishing Charlie's name, but Charlie wouldn't do that. Like, Charlie wasn't as vindictive as that. Like, so, I don't know. Charlie wouldn't want us to go and start a race war. That's the last thing Charlie would want to do. He'd want to talk it out. He would want to talk it out. But there are people that don't want to talk it out. And that's why we all need to protect ourselves. The world we live in is not the world that our parents grew up in. It's not the world that our parents' parents grew up in. It's a very dark place. The internet has ruined humanity, probably for good. And we probably are at an inflection point where there's no going back. And this will have a ripple effect that we will not even be able to quantify because it will be so great. It will be so big that we have no idea the repercussions. The fact that Charlie would have been the president one day, and now that's not going to happen, it changes the entire course of history. And that's not, I'm not being dramatic, that's just a fact. That the world is much worse off without Charlie Kirk. And yes, his legacy will live on, but just know that nothing is better today. And I know that like a lot of people right now are just like me, they're really frustrated. They're like, what, why haven't we caught the killer? How did he do this? Those answers, I don't know if we're ever going to get. And I'm not going to just sit here and talk about negative stuff. I'm just trying to be real right now. I can't be anything but real. Like, I just don't have a lot of faith that we're going to get the answers that we deserve. So, yes, I just owe Charlie so much. I would not even probably have, as big of a following or anything without him. And the fact that he let me go speak at those campuses, not trying to make it about me, but you guys just don't understand how good of a person Charlie is. Like, I wish that I could be like Charlie, so much so that I literally emulate him as a character playing Charlie Kirk. Like, what is it? What's the sincerest form? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Like, literally, that's what I was trying to do. Because he was so successful, he created a blueprint and a style that really can't be emulated because he has a motor and engine inside of his body that could not be stopped, that I don't have and that nobody has. And for all of the people that are saying, oh, well, it's time for other people to step up and fill Charlie's void will never be filled by anybody because nobody will come close to being as significantly culturally relevant as Charlie was at his age. Nobody. Nobody. And the world and our country is a weaker country now without people like Charlie Kirk defending our Constitution. Our liberties, our ability to speak freely is literally under attack. And Charlie was the best fighter for the First Amendment by going to colleges, inviting literally anybody. Do you realize how hard that is? To just, these people can pick any topic and they're going to go there and they're going to try to stump Charlie Kirk. He sets himself up to fail and he always succeeds. You have no idea how challenging that is, just having anybody come up. And yes, a lot of people that he come up there, is not that smart. But trust me, Charlie has debated a lot of very smart people. And he's come out on top. Not logical arguments that are hard to debate. And Charlie always found a way. And he would want us to continue carrying on his legacy. There's no doubt about that. But I know that I can't do that. I know that nobody can do that because Charlie's legacy was one of one. He's just such a unique guy that He's irreplaceable. Irreplaceable. So I don't know how much we should show, but I do want to, I guess, I already got emotional. Like, I am just such a wreck right now. And I feel like I'm going to get even more emotional if we play that video. But I mean, I guess let's play it, and you guys can see they edited it.
Which one?
Is that the first one where
the one where the kid
RNC?
thought got mistook you?
Yes, this
yeah,
one's
that's
good.
SOT 1.
Let's play SOT 1. Charlie!
Hi, Alex Stein. How are you?
So good to see you.
You know we get mixed up all the time.
Everybody calls me the fake Charlie Kirk, you know?
How you doing, young man?
Dude, I thought you were Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Charlie Kirk?
Yes. Why do you think I have this crew?
Are you actually?
Yes, let's take a selfie. What do you mean? Who do you think I am?
You're Charlie Kirk?
Yes, Turning Point USA.
Yo! Bro, it's Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk is here. Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk.
Hold on. Are you actually Charlie Kirk?
I'm actually
Take off
Charlie
the
Kirk.
glasses, take off the
Yes, dude, I'm Charlie.
Really?
Yes, dude, take a selfie. How do you not know this? Why do I have a camera crew, dude? I'm obviously Charlie. Like, gosh, dude, it's bugging me that I'm this well known. Yeah, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point. UTA.
Fake Charlie Kirk, you know?
That's hilarious.
I'm speaking at University of Nevada, Reno, and University of Washington in Seattle, all because of you.
Hilariously, I'm speaking at Nevada, Reno, so
Yeah.
we can kind of like
I know, I'm trying to follow. I'm the fake Charlie Kirk. I follow you around,
who's
dude.
actually speaking, right?
Yeah.
I could go like.
We need to do a sketch like that.
So I could go do the Alex Stein day.
Yeah, or
You
no,
could
not
do-
even that. But you need to just like mix me in, just, and then you could just say
I
I
think it's
couldn't make it,
hilarious.
and then you really come out.
Oh, I think it's great.
I don't know. Tell Andrew to text me. Yeah, that one guy really thought I was Adam
that was
Israel
so
Palestine.
funny.
He's like, "You're Charlie Kirk." I'm like, "Yes, I'm the dollar store version." All right. Well, just want to say hey.
Thanks, man.
I know you're on the grind. Thanks,
I gotta use the
Charlie.
rest-
Charlie thought it was funny. He thought that video was funny. He didn't care at all. He didn't have any hard feelings. Like, I'm just so sad. So sad. Everybody's so sad. Everybody is. Everybody should be sad. Everybody should be sad. Everybody should be really, 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 really sad. And if you're not, you just, you know, it is what it is. You're not dialed into what's going on in the world. And, you know, there's a saying, ignorance is bliss. And sometimes I kind of do wish. It's like the movie The Matrix. I think it's like Cyrus. I forget which character. Like he decides, was Cypher? Whatever, Cypher. Yeah, sorry, I get it mixed up. Cypher decides to plug back into the Matrix because he wants to, you know, he doesn't want to fight the bots. Like, you know, they don't even have food. They're like in, you know, a ship, and, you know, they can't even like poop right. He's like, no, I'd rather plug back into the Matrix and have a thick steak and have sex and, you know, just feel life even though it's fake. And that's kind of like where we're at right now. Like, the world is so dark and so hard to comprehend that it would almost be nice to be ignorant so that you wouldn't comprehend how terrible things really are. But that's not really how we should be. I don't really think that, but I just go through a lot of emotions in my head, and I'm like, you know, how do I make this sadness go away? And it doesn't seem like it will go away for a while. And obviously, I've had a lot of traumatic things happen to me in the last few years, losing my mother and losing my best friend, Hank Keller. And then even before all that, my best friend at the time, Clark Gable, our coworker, he was really close. So I have sadly gotten desensitized to losing people that I love, but seeing what we saw yesterday was the most graphic video I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen all kinds of terror videos. I've seen all kinds of Ukraine war videos. I've seen the Luigi Mangione video. I've seen a lot of faces of death videos, you would classify them as. And what we saw yesterday was the most graphic video I've ever seen in my life. And I just can't comprehend it. I keep using that word, but I just still can't wrap my head around it and all the unanswered questions. And it's driving me really, it's making me really sad. Making me really sad. And yeah, I'm obviously not going to quit, like going out and doing this. I know I said that earlier, but it just doesn't feel right right now, even going to a college right now. Tim and I were supposed to go to Penn State, Tim Pool, obviously. We're supposed to go and debate at Penn State October 10th, and we canceled that. But I'm not going to cancel all my events. I mean, maybe through Turning Point for the time being. I think that's what we need to do. That's the right thing to do. But I'm just saying down the road, there will be a time and place when we can go back on a college campus and fight for Charlie's legacy. And I will say this, that until the day that I die, I will always defend Charlie Kirk's legacy. And I've always have defended Charlie Kirk's legacy. And there was people on this show that have criticized Charlie, that I've had conversations with after the fact, that have all changed their opinion on Charlie. Because Charlie is a hero. He's an American hero. He's a martyr, whatever, you know what I mean, martyr. And he died for our liberties, our freedom. And his shirt said freedom on it. Like, it just doesn't even seem real. Like, he literally died protecting freedom of speech. And that's why I'm going to spend every moment that I can and every opportunity that I get to defend Charlie Kirk. Not that he needs to be defended at all. I'm just saying, because of what he did to me, people need to know that. I want people to know that I would not even be known if it wasn't for Charlie. And I will never stop saying that, ever. I mean, there's about 3 guys that really kind of helped me out a lot at the beginning. That kind of popped me off was Mark Dice, Charlie Kirk, and Gavin McInnes. All 3 of those guys helped me out a lot, and they didn't need to. They didn't know who I was. And so, till the day I die, I'll always shout out those guys, but especially Charlie, because no disrespect to Gavin, starting the Proud Boys is pretty culturally relevant, and Mark obviously is an incredible commentator. Charlie was destined to be president of the United States of America. And that's a different level of success that very few people could be even considered for. I have no idea how Kamala Harris was even considered for that. It makes no sense, but Charlie would have actually won his election if he ran. And we're never going to have that opportunity to have him as our president. It just makes me absolutely sick. And like, there's more videos we have, and we have like stuff from the crime scene, but I don't even, the illness and the pain in my stomach, the nausea that I'm feeling, I don't even really want to cover it, because I don't want to. I've constantly relived it. We all have constantly relived it, because we can't even go on social media without reliving it. And we're basically all victims of, maybe it was, just one killer, but we're all victims of this. Just seeing it, witnessing it, and society will never be the same. And maybe it shouldn't be the same. Like, I'm not saying that we should do a civil war. We should do the opposite of that. Like I was saying, Charlie would be respectful, but like, I guess maybe like this is a message to either wake up or plug into the matrix and just be ignorant and just tune it out and just kind of be like a debt slave your whole life and just don't have any belief in God and just have a meaningless life. But Charlie would not have wanted that. He would want society to know that your life is important and your life means a lot. And Charlie, at 31 years old's life has meant more than anybody could ever imagine. And I just am really at a loss for words when it comes to the constant feelings of despair and then anger and then fear and just the overall kind of like, there's like certain truths you have to accept in life. Like one of them is like that life is not fair. You have to accept that or else you'll go crazy. You will go crazy if you don't understand that life is not fair. And there's going to be people that work less hard than you, that are more successful than you, There's going to be people that catch breaks that they don't deserve. That's life. But when you see a person get taken out like Charlie, life is so egregiously unfair, it makes it almost unbearable. And that's the struggle that people are going through, especially young people that Charlie is trying to reach out to, is that they have that unbearable stress and anxiety because they cannot afford a home. They can't afford to go to college. They got to go into debt to go to college for a job that they're not going to get unless they're the right color. And these are universal truths. This isn't racism. This is just true facts. And sometimes facts hurt people's feelings. I think that's Ben Shapiro's thing. I don't even want to talk about him right now. But these are hard truths that Charlie told that people needed to hear in order to help guide them in the right direction. And now they will not get that advice. They will not get that civil debate to let them form their own opinion. And we will never know what the world would have been like if yesterday didn't happen the way it did. I mean, I would even go so far as to say, and I don't want to get canceled for this or anything, but I don't know if Trump's presidency can even be successful anymore. And I'm not blaming Trump. I'm just saying, to lose a person like Charlie, this is like 9/11. This is like the pandemic. As this is a terrible, unthinkable tragedy that will affect the course of history significantly. Just like 9/11, just like major tragic events, just like Pearl Harbor, this is on the same level as that. I would even argue that this is possibly, potentially be more impactful than some of those terrible tragedies. Because I don't know if a future president died in 9/11. I don't know. We'll never know, right? But I do know that a future president died yesterday. It makes me so sick. Doesn't feel real. I don't know if the chat's probably liking this episode, just sitting here crying the whole time, but I don't know what to do, guys. I'm really, just really hurt, and a lot of opportunities that Charlie gave me unnecessarily. Like, I just feel so bad that I can't thank him. I can't be like, thanks. You have no idea. It's weird. But I'm not trying to make it about me. It's not about me. But I'm just personally upset because, like, I'm looking at all the big picture stuff about how we lost a future president, how the world's never going to be the same. But, like, I can't help but think in the back of my head my personal losses. That a guy that thought I was funny, liked me, let me go represent his organization at colleges all across the country. Would have been great if he's president. He likes me. Well, how does that not help me? My life is significantly worse. And all of our lives are. I'm just saying, my life is worse. All of our lives are worse. I just can't. I don't know. People are like in the chat, I should continue his legacy. Guys, I can't continue Charlie's legacy. I mean, there's just no... I mean, we'll go and always defend Charlie, and we'll always talk about him in the most positive way possible. But I'm just saying, those are shoes that I don't fit in, okay? Like a baby trying to put on cowboy boots, their dad's cowboy. I can't fit in his cowboy boots. I cannot fit in his shoes. A lot of people can't fit. Nobody can fit in his shoes. And even if you put 20 people trying to fit in his shoes, like, that's not the same. It's not the same. The world will never be the same. And I stopped saying this because our words have power. And when we say something could potentially happen. We almost give it the power to happen. And so I want to be careful with what I say, but we always talk about how this is a war. We talk about how, once we can't win with our words, Charlie even said it, they're going to use violence. So even though we knew that this was a possibility, nobody really thought that this would ever happen like this. Nobody really thought that. Because we're naive. We're naive. We're like, society's bad. These people are shooting up schools and this and that. This stuff happens, but it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to Charlie Kirk. It's not going to happen to this. And then when it happens, you can't calculate that possibility being real, and that's where we're at. I'm in the stage of disbelief. I mean, we all saw it, so I know it's real, but every time I say that Charlie Kirk has passed away at 31 years old, it doesn't feel real. It feels like it's a sketch or something. It's just, it's a really, really bad thing and a hard thing to say, and something I never would have expected I would have to say. The idea that I'm older than Charlie and I was going to, I would have thought that Charlie Kirk would have been president and nobody would even have the motivation to do something to him like that. I didn't think that type of evil exists. Even the most person on the most hormones and stuff, I figured they'd just be like, oh, I hate you. I didn't think that they would plan a public assassination for Charlie. Because Charlie was... He was a strong conservative, but he wasn't far right. He wasn't alt-right. He was pro-America. That's what he was. So his views were not that incendiary whatsoever. The fact that he's pro-life, nobody really cares. Being pro-life is not controversial enough for somebody to kill you. There has to be more to it. I just don't understand why somebody would want to kill somebody for wanting to protect the lives of babies, because everybody knows in their heart that protecting babies is good. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that when a drunk driver, hits a pregnant mom and kills the baby and the mom, they get charged with a double homicide. Everybody knows that. Charlie used that argument. People know that, right? But they'll just go argue, pro-choice because they're just sick people. But I don't know anybody that could ever look at Charlie or listen to him for longer than 15 seconds and have any ill will towards him. Even all the influencers that all follow him around, they're all very sad, and they should be, because Charlie was a beacon of light. Whether you agreed with him politically or not, you knew that he was coming with the best intentions, and he was going to be incredibly honorable. And it's hard to debate a person that is incredibly honorable, incredibly good, has nothing to hide, and can just lay all their cards on the table like Charlie did. It's almost impossible to beat that type of person in a debate, and that's why nobody beat Charlie in a debate, and that's why somebody took him out. And it's just a lesson that when you're actually good, when you're actually a moral person, and you're super famous, but you want to give people access to you because you feel that's your humble duty, which Charlie did not have to do. You see all these other people, they don't like to go. A lot of people have gone and done college debates. But I'm saying Charlie was so incredibly accessible. Anybody that wanted to go debate him could go to his event, stand in line early enough, and get an opportunity. And I don't know. I don't know what much more I need to say about it. I'm kind of just repeating myself. I do know that Tucker Carlson started a Give, Send, Go. I think it was Alp donated $1 million if you want to support Erica and his two young children. Alp put in $1 million. Give, Send, Go. I think you type in Erica Kirk. Once again, that is no disrespect to Tucker. Charlie would have been a billionaire one day. So, money is... no amount of money that we could give his family would have been close to the amount of money that Charlie could have earned on his own. So... And Charlie would have had more kids, and Charlie America lost its greatest private citizen yesterday. And for that matter, as a private citizen, he's better than all these other politicians too. So America literally lost its best citizen yesterday. So just like when Michael Jordan retires from the Bulls or Tom Brady retires, Charlie Kirk is the world's greatest debater. And that's all we need to say. And we just need to honor his legacy. And I know that I'll honor his legacy, and I'll do whatever I can to always defend him, which I always have. So honestly, I feel guilty enough that I haven't defended him hard enough. I wish I would have, when I had opportunities, I wish I would have defended him a million times even harder, even though I have always defended him. I really wish I would have let people know how much he helped me while he was still alive. And even if I didn't tell him personally, maybe heard it through the grapevine, like I would have liked him to know that. I would have liked him to know that. So a lot of people are going through it. I guess we all should just kind of let the pain come upon us. It's okay if you've had other trauma in your life and you're like, man, this almost feels worse than that trauma. That's not unusual, because what we all experienced yesterday was unlike anything that's ever happened in history before that. This was much different than the JFK assassination, where there's a Zapruder film coming out later. Like, this was totally different. This is the most graphic video I have ever seen, or humanity has ever seen, ever. The juxtaposition of a man with a microphone speaking in front of a crowd, taken out like that. There will just never be a video as graphic or as horrible as that. So if you feel immense pain and sadness, that is the normal default feeling when you witness and experience something like that. So let's not beat each other up. Let's just try to find, I don't even know if we should look for happiness right now, because that's, no, like the world's, let's mourn Charlie. Let's feel the sadness. Let's feel it, and let's experience it. And then, let's use that motivation. Like, I remember, when my mom passed away, I would walk into that hospital. I was so scared every day. The nurses were not nice, and it just was a bad experience. And I was like, I got to do it. I don't have a choice. I got to go visit my mom. They only had certain hours I could go visit her. I could only go there for 4 hours a day. So I'd have to leave and come back. And I remember walking through the halls of the hospital, and like it just didn't feel real. And that's kind of how this feels. Like, it just doesn't feel real. But what I learned from that terrible tragedy is, after the fact, that there'd be situations where I would be in that I didn't want to be in, and I would just go back to the horrible tragedy that I had experienced, and I realized that I made it through that. There's nothing that we will face that will be as tragic. So it gave me, I guess, this confidence to not even worry about the next challenge, because no challenge is going to be as tough as that. And I think that what happened with Charlie is going to be a similar thing for society. It's like, society will never be challenged as hard as we were challenged yesterday with what we saw. And we can either let it eat us away and fight one another, or we use it as a motivating tool to go out and carry on Charlie's legacy and make the world a better place and fight for what Charlie would have fought for. Because we don't have any other choice. Like, vote or die, fight or die. So don't let this horrible tragedy demoralize you enough to quit. Use this as a rallying cry to understand that life is incredibly short, life is tragically unfair, and that it's up to you to really take the reins, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And Charlie Kirk was the ultimate self-starter, 17 years old, starting the biggest college organization in the world. I mean, just sounds impossible. Literally sounds impossible. When I was 17 years old, I mean, I was like backing my car into, people in parking lots. Like, I was not starting a conservative organization that would influence multiple presidential elections. And then don't forget all the smaller elections that they influenced. So yeah, today's a bad day. No silver lining. The world is significantly worse with Charlie. Nothing is okay. We will all be okay, but the world is not okay. And it's a much darker place. And we can never go back to before 9/11, and we can never go back to before Charlie Kirk. So the world that we were living in yesterday is not the same world that we're living in today. We have to understand that. And don't let this be a motivating factor to give up, because Charlie wouldn't have given up. And we do know one, and it's not even a silver lining because it was guaranteed anyway, but Charlie is obviously in heaven. Obviously. I mean, he supported the church and churches so much that the big guy upstairs definitely had to take care of Charlie. He obviously needed Charlie, or obviously Satan had to take him out because Charlie's too good. I don't know why Charlie's not here, but I know that he is in a better place. The world is worse off, but Charlie is not in pain. He's not suffering, and he is with the Almighty, probably calling shots, And yeah, so we'll just see where we go from here. My life is drastically going to be different the next few months, but I'm not worried about that. But I'm worried about you guys. I mean that. I am worried. I am worried because I know that I'm a mess right now. I don't want you guys to all be messes like me. And we have to honor Charlie. He would definitely be making fun of me for crying, I think. Charlie probably, he's a real man. He probably wouldn't have cried on camera, but a lot of people have, and that's because a lot of people all had great experiences with Charlie Kirk, and nobody had a bad experience that ever got to personally meet him or interact with him. And that's why we're crying. That's why we're so sad. And he touched the lives of people that Charlie doesn't even realize. Not just people that are Turning Point chapter members, so many other kids that we have no idea that were affected in a positive way by Charlie. And, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself. So I think I'm just going to wind things down and say this has been one of the worst weeks ever. The world is a much worse place. I hope Donald Trump can help fix this. I don't know if he can. I don't know if anybody can. So, yeah, it's our duty to fight, not give up, and to emulate Charlie. I mean, I emulated him literally, and now I need to emulate him even more, but nobody can replace a supernova like Charlie Kirk. And I just last thing I want to say, thank you, Charlie, for everything that you did for me, for giving me multiple second chances when you didn't have to. And I'm really upset that we couldn't have done more stuff together. I'm really upset about that. It's not about me. I'm just selfishly, I'm really upset about that too. I just wish I could have done more, Charlie. But yeah, I'm happy for the experiences that I did have with Charlie. Very grateful for all of them. He was a very busy guy, very busy, changing the world for a better place. So yeah, so we're just going to end the show. We're going to do a moment of silence. Obviously not a freestyle finale, nothing to freestyle about tonight. But yeah, we're going to take a moment of silence for Charlie.